Hello and welcome to my presentation. So I'll start with my two SMART goals, which I put over here. The first one, the professional one, is to have established a better social media presence that will allow me to eventually begin building a brand later on. I'm honestly pretty underconfident with this stuff, so I'm going to start slow. This one's measurable in that I know I will have reached my goal when I have an Instagram and Twitter account up and running and some idea of how to use them, because at the moment I don't. I'm going to try and start by just posting a couple things a week and kind of ease myself into it. This goal is attainable and timely in that I'm going to do it once the semester is over Christmas. So I know I'll have the time and energy to actually do it. I think it's a realistic goal because, famous last words, but how hard could it be? Like, these are very popular platforms, right? The timely portion comes from my goal to have it going by the beginning of next semester. The next one, the personal one, is that I want to have scrambled at least 5 new mountains by the end of the summer. It's probably obvious how that's measurable. My plan to make this happen is to continue physio to rehab my poor legs and keep training to get my cardio back more. I'll also have to be sure to budget the time to get out to the mountains enough times this summer. I believe this is a realistic goal because I've scrambled others while in worse shape than I will be at the end of the summer, which is my time frame for this. The first personal passion I picked to showcase was writing fiction because that's a huge hobby for me. It's not especially related to anything else here, but I feel like having a diversity of obsessions is a positive thing. The second one I chose was outdoor sports. Obviously, I'm interested in a variety of them. And it's a passion that directs my life in a lot of ways. Like, for instance, I spent most of last year living in a repurposed nun's cell so I could ski more often. The sports I'm into are really huge motivators for me in terms of like keeping my fitness up and having my crap together, like, financially and stuff, so I can do them. Professional passion I chose, represented by a variety of sports equipment over here, is that I really want to help people to find their passions, like what they like, in order to maintain an active lifestyle. Because I know, like, for me, I took kind of an unconventional route to get there. I never liked playing sports as a kid. I only got into it later when I realized that's not the only thing you can do. So, being able to help people on their own journeys would be very fulfilling to me. I'd really like to think I was doing that. Kind of in conjunction with that is I'm very passionate about women's health and issues. I look forward to working with other women to help them find their athletic passions. Certainly, I know that the people aren't always very supportive of women and their athletic interests. So I'd like to be another voice of support and affirmation in that area. Two professional things I'd like to know about would be like the link between mental health and exercise and nutrition. Obviously, the former is more of an academic interest because I'm not in school to become a therapist. The latter is more directly relevant. I'm very curious to see over the next couple decades how the food industry will change as the global economy changes, how that will impact our conception of nutrition, which is a very young science, and how that'll impact our continued fight against epidemic levels of metabolic diseases in Canada. My two big values I picked are discipline, right off the Ron Swanson pyramid, and professionalism. Discipline, like, obviously it's pretty darn important. If you care about health and fitness, you have to be disciplined. To maintain a workout routine, to stick with a physio routine that causes you pain, it's essential. Professionalism is something that's been instilled in me from a very young age. First from the mountain guides who were my role models as a teenager, and then other mentor figures I've had in my life since then. It's really important to, especially if you're becoming a personal trainer. For two inspirational images, this one is an illustration from a book on writing fiction called Wonder Book by Jeff Vandermeer. I attached all my references. It's been a very helpful book to me. This picture is meant to represent the creative process. It's one of many like it in there. Uh, Obviously, it's kind of an unconventional representation of that, and that kind of that taking things might seem mundane at first and using them to instill a sense of wonder is something that I kind of strive for generally, not just in that hobby. The second one, you might recognize it. It's from the web comic The Oatmeal, and it's from a comic where the artist, who's an ultra marathoner, uh, talks about his passion for it and like the intrinsic motivation he finds in it. And as someone who's into a lot of endurance based stuff, it really resonated with me. And about the meditativeness of it and the totally inexplicable joy he finds in it. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for watching, and all the best of the season.